Welcome, Soul family. You're tuned into Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we are your hosts, Max and Mello from Soul and the New Vibe.
That's right, Max. And in this space, we dig deep into the foundational sounds and the visionary minds that built the house of soul music.
And that's some big house it is.
Mm-hmm. Exploring how their genius still resonates in every beat, every melody, and every lyric we hear today.
That's it, Mello. Being the griots of a modern world, resonating on the classics that taught us so very much about making the journey. Today, we're diving into one of the most sophisticated and influential sounds to ever emerge.
That's right, Max. We're talking Philly soul, talking about the sound that gave soul music a tuxedo.
That's a handsome-looking man. Let's put him in a suit. We put him in a tux.
Hello.
So true, Mello. A sound that truly elevated production to an art form with a totally quintessential voice.
Yes, Max. It's a sound that deeply influenced us and countless artists shaping today's music.
Without a doubt.
We'll explore the lessons from the architects of this genre, so get ready to journey with us.
That's right. Sit back and check out the Philly Soul sound with us here on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
First, we're just going to take a quick break and then get right into it.
So stick around. All right, let's get down to it. When we talk about Philly Soul, we're really talking about the sound of Philadelphia. This wasn't just the style, right, Mello? It was an entire ecosystem of creativity centered around Sigma Sound Studios and the incredible minds of Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff.
Exactly. Sigma Sound wasn't just a building, it was a gauntlet.
Yeah, sort of a baptism of fire, as it were.
Yes, Max. A great analogy. Joseph Tarsia, the owner, created a space that allowed for incredible sonic innovation. Those early 24-track capabilities.
Exactly. And the 24-track was a big difference because, you know, we talked just last week about Fame. Mm-hmm. And in Fame, when Rick Hall started, that he was working on a Bill Putnam console with knobs, no faders. You know, by the time they finished up,
they were faders.
They were faders, but it started, you know, they did 8-track, 16-track, and bouncing with a 24-track capabilities. Now, you could do all these layers.
And it just opened it all up.
Oh, yeah, no, layers, sonic innovation, right? The strings, horns, vocal harmonies, and you could change stuff. You could fix stuff, right? You couldn't do that. You had once you bounced it in an 8-track or a 4-track or a 16-track, you were stuck with it, right? That was it. The lesson here for us, right, as modern artists,
investing in your sound environment, whether it's a physical studio or your own home setup.
It's paramount.
Yeah, the quality matters. And think about the clarity on a track like Billy Paul's Me and Mrs. Jones.
Bingo.
The way his voice, the keys, and that iconic sax solo all sit perfectly in the mix. That's right. Tarsia's engineering mastery.
Yes.
It's a lesson in sonic precision.
He had a way of making that groove sound really punchy, right? And you just kind of like lay into it. I mean, and then of course, part of that school was Gamble and Huff.
Oh yeah, Gamble and Huff weren't just producers. They were storytellers. As co-founders of
architects, so to speak, right?
Exactly. As co-founders of Philly International Records, or PIR, this duo is considered the chief architect of the Philly Soul sound. They wrote and produced,
yes, they did,
a staggering number of gold and platinum records.
Oh, without a doubt, unbelievable, soulful vocals, funk-infused rhythms. They were, I mean, their blend of arrangements, the lush strings. I mean, really, the Philly sound was so badass.
Yeah, and you got to also mention Thom Bell.
No, you can't forget Tommy Bell.
He was a childhood friend of Gamble and Huff, and
he was an essential producer for this, and his arrangement skills were phenomenal.
Yeah, he was known for sophisticated and cinematic arrangements, contributing to hits for groups like the Stylistics and the Spinners.
Yeah, and I got to work with those guys, and man, let me tell you, that was amazing watching Stylistics and the Spinners and the lessons learned by their harmonies and the way the band played and the flow of that music was just so great.
And you also have to mention G. McFadden and John Whitehead.
Whitehead. Ain't no stopping us now.
And they also served as producers and writers for Philly International Records, contributing to the label's success.
Right.
Also MFSB, the house
that's
band.
the band, and we'll get to them in a minute. But you know, you think about the picture from Gamble and Huff, right? It's about songwriting and production as a unified vision, not about the beat. It's about a sonic landscape, and for us, that means every element in a Soul in the New Vibe track has a purpose. just like they had a purpose, a role in telling our story, just like theirs did. And that taught us to view a song not as a collection of parts, but as a single breathing organism. And before we move on, if you're enjoying this content, just please take a moment to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. It truly helps us keep bringing you these deep dives into soul music history.
That's correct. And we certainly appreciate your leaving a comment. We would love for you to engage us, listen to us, and learn together about the paths taken to get to your musical destination.
Yeah, soul music or any other kind of music.
Exactly.
And, if before we go to a break, we just want to talk a second about, the MFSB's 4 on the floor beat. Mm-hmm. I think you were talking about that to me early before we started taping about what an influence it was on the disco sound.
Well, yeah, because the drummer from MFSB was Earl Young, and he became known as like sort of the father of disco drumming.
Right, like a major influence.
Yeah, because that 4 on the floor with the open hi-hat was like not really a thing until he sort of made it his regular thing. And
that was a staple of Philly.
And also of disco in general.
But it was a staple of Philly.
Yeah.
You think about all those soul tunes with that beautiful drum beat, the rhythm of the open hat, man, shit, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, and it was Earl Young and Norman Harris and Ronnie Baker. Norman Harris was the guitarist.
Yeah, no, he was a funky motherfucker.
And Ronnie Baker, the bassist, he laid down a lot of incredible, unforgettable bass lines.
And of course, we can't forget about Vincent Montana, who was their vibraphonist and percussionist, who's also an amazing arranger.
He arranged most of the string and horns for like not only Philly, but a lot of mostly South Soul records.
Yeah,
which was a totally separate label, but it was mostly recorded in Philly at Sigma Sound. And like Lita Holloway said, "Come on, Vince, play your vibes."
Yeah, come on, Vince, play your vibes. All right, we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back in a minute. You are listening to Max Mello's Architects of Soul, and we'll be right back.
Don't go away. Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Before the break, we were talking about Gamble and Huff.
We certainly were.
But you can't talk about Philly Soul without bringing up the wizard of arrangements, Thom Bell, who we mentioned before.
You better believe it. He was a visionary, the grand strategist. And Tommy, the master craftsman of intricate details.
Yeah, his arrangement just of Could It Be I'm Falling in Love by the Spinners, that arrangement alone is one of my favorite arrangements of all time of any song.
Yeah, but it's not only that. It was his Betch by Golly Wow, right? I'll Be Around. It wasn't just arrangement. It was painting with a sound. He used his instruments in unexpected ways. It was cool. Like you'd use a harpsichord or a French horn to create a uniquely elegant sound to the track.
Yeah.
That's the tuxedo part, right?
Exactly. His arrangements weren't just background. They were conversations. The way the strings would weave around Russell Tompkins Jr.'s falsetto from the stylistics.
That unexpected chord change,
those
right?
chord changes, it was pure elegance.
It was.
The lesson from Thom Bell for us today is to pay attention to the nuance.
Nuance, right?
Don't just throw sounds in. Arrange them with purpose, and every instrument should contribute to the emotional core of the song.
Right, it has to resonate.
Yeah, it's about finding one unique element that makes your sound truly yours.
Precisely, Mello. And then there's the engine room, the legendary house band, like we talked about last segment, MFSB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. These musicians were not just session players. They were the heartbeat of the sound. And they really were, because every artist, just like the other house bands, the other bands from Fame and from Stax, they had this unique sound, and all the music sounded amazingly different from the other music, right? Like Philly Soul was Philly Soul, and the Stax sound was the Stax sound, and the Motown sound was the Motown sound, and we'll get to the Motown really soon. But that's so cool about how Philly was like a tuxedo, right? It was a tuxedo. Yeah. It really was. It was a really beautiful night in a sophisticated, elegant abode, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it. I mean, so let's talk about the session players. We started this earlier, right? We started with Earl Young's drumming and the impact of it ended up on Norman Harris's funky guitar. You think about the groove that was so infectious to these guys, right? In every song, all the songs, the Spinners tunes, the Stylistics tunes, those grooves just didn't stop, right? They were like, they would find that one unique element and then they'd keep pushing it and it'd just be smokingly bad, right?
Yeah.
Like think I'll Be Around. Just imagine that whole thing from the lyrics and
to the little guitar riff.
Right, exactly. Right to the end is like there's the last verse, a whole, I believe, that I'll get a chance again, maybe, and if not, I'll be around, right? Wow, what a payoff.
Yeah, no question about that, Max. MFSB showed us the power of a cohesive unit. Their synergy at Sigma Sound was legendary.
Oh, without a doubt.
They had a shared language, a shared feel that created magic on tracks like their own hit TSOP.
Right, Sound of Philadelphia.
That became the theme to Soul Train.
It was a cool, great groove.
Yeah.
I love the Philly Soul. I was lucky enough to be in the 80s around it, and because we're from New York, you're right near Philly.
Right.
And it only took a minute to go down to south into Jersey to venture into Philadelphia to hear some soul music. Damn, that was some good shit.
And for modern artists building a strong musical community and collaborating with like-minded individuals.
It's a direct lesson.
Yeah, from MFSB.
From MFSB.
That's easy for me to say.
It is. It really is.
That collective energy is priceless. It's about creating a sound that's bigger than any one person.
And isn't that the string of all these studios?
Yeah, that's the thread that connects them
They're
all.
killer aggregates of players pushing the sonic landscape of soul.
Sort of like the Three Musketeers analogy, not the candy bar.
Oh,
But
nice.
all for one and one for all.
Right.
It really
More
if you took
punny
anything-
games, smart guy.
If you took any one of them out, it wouldn't sound the same.
No, you're right. 100%. In fact, every little piece went to making up the whole picture.
Yeah.
And if you took one piece out, it changed the picture dramatically because they were such a unit and they were so cohesive that everything fell in. And that's the marvel of Gamble and Huff and Tommy Bell.
And Thom Bell, yeah.
Oh my God! All right, so just like us, it's one for all and all for one. Going back to your Three Musketeers analogy.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, so stay with us, Soul Family. More Architects and Soul insights are coming up right after this.
Don't go away.
Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you. Hey, welcome back to Max Mello's Architects of Soul. Well, we've explored the foundations of Philly soul, right, Mello?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about its incredible legacy and how we, as Soul in the New Vibe, and our peers are building on those lessons. Nothing like love songs with a groove, huh, Mello?
Too true, Max. Philly soul was a direct bridge to disco, no doubt about it.
Oh, without a doubt.
The driving,
No doubt about it, right?
no doubt about it. The driving rhythms of MFSB laid the foundation for the entire genre, but more importantly, its influence stretches far beyond that. The polished production and the rich textures, they set a new standard for R&B.
They did.
And you can hear it directly in Quincy Jones's genius behind Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album and the Thriller album.
And we'll get to him.
Oh, yeah, on his own show. But that pristine production, that orchestral grandeur, it all comes from that Philly playbook.
Right, and you can even hear it in the 90s. The neo-soul movement with artists like Jill Scott, Musique,
Philly.
Soul Child, and
Philly.
The Roots, who are
Philly.
from Philly. It's
Yeah.
all Philly. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And they carried that torch. And we love that stuff.
Yeah.
So they took the soulful storytelling and instrumental richness of the Philly sound and infused it with hip-hop and jazz. The lesson here is that a great musical foundation is not a cage, right? It's a launching pad.
Exactly. For us, the biggest lesson from the architects beyond the sound itself is about artistic integrity and
Integrity is a
relentless,
big thing.
Oh, yeah, a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Yeah, well, that's an important one, too, if you ask me.
Yeah. Gamble and Huff, Thom Bell, MFSB, they weren't just making records. They
No.
were crafting masterpieces.
They were artistes.
Yeah, and they had a singular vision, and they executed it flawlessly, and they weren't just following trends. They were setting trends.
Again, another string that we see in all these different groups. You know, they all sounded different, but they were all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They weren't following trends. They were setting them. And the songs and the singers who sang them were extraordinary to watch, from the voices to the moves. I mean, as I was transitioning from a full-time musician, a guitar player, to a songwriter, producer, and engineer, I was truly fortunate to have been around the acts coming out of Philly, right? While I was working for Glenn Jones, it put us on the same circuit as the Spinners, Stylistics. And then at the Apollo, well, I got to see them again and do all that stuff with them. And of course, what are you going to say? It's the world-famous Apollo Theater. And if you were playing an RFB at that time in the 80s, especially in soul music, you played that place. And the incredible school of knowledge that I gained from those years helped propel my skills along with my music school playing knowledge. And the lesson to always, to be a sponge in a wonderful bucket of cool, fresh water, right? And soaking up as much knowledge as I can. And that lesson, well, it pushes me and Mello to always strive for our best.
Absolutely.
To nurture our unique sound, right? And to never settle. And we don't. It's about taking those lessons of meticulous arrangements, deep grooves, and soulful storytelling and reinterpreting them through our own experiences to create that new vibe in soul music. And it's all about respecting the past while innovating for the future. This is our message.
And again, if you're vibing with us, please like and subscribe to our channel.
Please.
It helps us immensely, and it ensures that you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes.
Right, we truly do appreciate you sharing this ride with us. And before we take a break, let's talk about the global popularity of the Philly sound.
The Philly International Records became a worldwide phenomenon, rivaling the success of Motown.
Better believe it.
And brought in like a new slick style of R&B to a global audience.
You think about the artists that were integral to the Philly soul sound, really, like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
With Teddy Pendergrass.
Do you, baby. Oh, yeah. The OJs, I got to work with them. They were amazing. Same thing with the Stylistics and the Delphonics. And don't forget your girl, Patti LaBelle.
Well, she came in along a little later, but she was definitely part of the Philly sound.
She was part of the Philly sound and
Phyllis
part of the
Hyman
80s
as well.
too. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
Their music continues to be celebrated, and it's a testament to the enduring legacy of the genre. Really a testament. I mean, the creation of the Philly soul sound was a total collaborative effort involving a key studio, which we talk about, a legendary group of producers and writers, which we talk about, and a talented house band, which we talk about. So now we're done talking. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back to wrap it all up. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Architects of Soul. Well, Mello, that brings us to the end of another inspiring episode of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
It certainly was an amazing time, and it's been an incredible journey through the sound of Philadelphia.
Right.
We hope you've gained some insights into how these pioneers laid the groundwork for so much of the music we love today.
Oh, yes, Mello. The lessons are clear. Craftsmanship, right? Vision, collaboration, and relentless pursuit of emotional resonance. These are the guideposts for any artist hoping to leave their mark. Hard-earned, but well-made.
And as you continue on your own creative journey, whether you're making music or just appreciating it, the journey is still one rich in history
and the fostering of a wonderful musical relationship that's bonded by the song.
Well said.
You're right. It's the true path that they took are the paths that we, all in the game, try to learn from. And hence, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, this show.
Yes. Right? And remember this, keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.